There's a couple of ways that we look at protecting the kids in the schools, and one of them is privacy film. We do have a couple samples over here if you guys want to come take a look at it. One of the things that, we talk about FBI statistics, 60% of all shootings are over before police ever arrive. It's a very, very short event, usually less than 10 minutes, and the majority of them are less than 6 minutes. So we get a lot of people pushing back on reflective film, saying, well, what if a sniper needs to get a shot in there? They're not going to be able to see in the classroom. I think we're really looking at what's the lesser of two evils. If an armed intruder walks on a campus and they cannot identify which rooms are occupied and how many kids are in those rooms, and when they cannot acquire a target through the glass, in my view, put a privacy film on so that you cannot see which classrooms are occupied from outside approaching. There are two different films here, and one is designed specifically for a one-way mirror effect. It's shiny on one side and non-reflective on the other. That makes it more difficult from one side and easy to see out from the other side. You get less chatter, so it's interfering less with the view. In other words, if we have silver on both sides, you see a lot of the room and the reflection as you're trying to look out. That's not necessarily the aesthetic that we want on our glass. So 3M came up with a dual reflective to the extreme. It's called 3M privacy film, and it's designed specifically for what we're talking about right here with someone not being able to see in the classrooms. Very, very effective, even when lights are on and even when the sun is dim. Even on a cloudy day, lights are no match for the sun's level of lumen power. So you're not going to be able to see in even with the lights on, even on a cloudy day. You will, however, be able to see in at night when it starts to get dark. So just as a caveat there. This is the Ultra Night Vision, which is a security film laminated to a privacy film. This is the exact same film that I'm going to show you behind you there. It just has the privacy film laminated to it. So it's kind of an all-in-one solution. So I'd like to turn your attention now, if I can, everyone come over to this side of the room, and we'll break some windows. What we like to do is kind of set the base. We have a base case so that you can see what glass breaks like. And I know, Dallas, you know what glass looks like, so maybe this isn't for you. But for anyone that doesn't see broken glass every day, it's good to see how easily regular non-secured glass breaks and how easily you can get through it in just a couple of seconds. So we're basically going from weak to strong, and we've got these 3 bucks. We call these wood things bucks. Each one has two pieces of glass in it. One is annealed glass, one is tempered glass. I cannot emphasize how important it is to understand what type of glass you have when we're looking at what solution we're going to add to it. If we're adding film to tempered glass, as you'll see, it's a lot weaker. Tempered glass is heated and cooled at rapid temperature. It gets 10,000 pounds of compression trapped in the glass. So when we break tempered glass, it's going to burst into a million little cubes by design. So no matter how big your window is, you will never have a shard of glass on a tempered window. When it breaks, it all breaks. That's great, and that's one of the best inventions we ever came up with. Countless lives have been saved because a little cut here and there is no big deal, but an arterial bleed is a big deal. So by code, all of your entrances are going to have tempered glass, and you're going to really see the difference when I start breaking these windows between tempered and annealed glass. You'll see how dangerous the annealed glass is and how weak the tempered glass is. On this panel, so this one has no film. We're going to show you base case. This is if someone were to approach a building and try and break in with no protection on annealed and tempered. This one has 1 layer of 3M safety security film. It's going to be on the other side. I'm on the attack side. That would be the safe side. That would be inside the school on the other side. There's also this black bead you can see around here. This is Dow 995, or is this IPA impact protection adhesive. It's a 3M product that's anchoring the film to the frame. Again, cannot emphasize how important it is to anchor the film to the frame. And you'll see, well, actually we don't have an unattached version. If we have an unattached version of film, the whole thing will come out of the frame. We call it the welcome mat. Basically the whole window falls out and you just walk right in. So this black attachment system is absolutely crucial. On this set, this is 2-sided film. We've got film on both sides of the glass. It's on my side, the attack side, and on the safe side. It's also attached. So we're going to get stronger as we go this way. I do want to mention, over here we have the Riot Glass products. So once I do these, we'll walk over here to show you the difference. What we're talking about here, guys, is buying time. Okay? When an active shooter approaches a building, he's wanting to get in really quick and do as much damage as humanly possible. Remember, he has a 6-minute window on average before the police arrive. The events are almost over by then. So any significant delay is a big win for the good guys. Gives people time to just realize there's actually something going wrong, to gather their wits, get into the run, hide, fight mindset, and get the hell out of there, call 911. If we don't have that, as was the case in Sandy Hook, 1-1000, 2-1000, you got a bad guy in the building hunting people. Worst case scenario. So now film is nothing like some of the stuff over here where we're gonna have significant or no entry at all. But film's a lot less expensive. So you can do a lot of glass for a lot less money really quickly, just retrofitting the glass, than you would replacing the glass with a much heavier solution. Of course, you have options. Most schools do a combination of all of these things. So one thing to point out that's really important is what constitutes a breach. And I always like to say, that depends on where in the building this bad guy's trying to come in. If you have panic hardware, so earlier I mentioned how much safer glass is now that we have tempered glass. Another great life-saving invention was panic egress hardware. In 1958, there was a horrible fire. Hundreds of kids died, 3 nuns died. After that, they had already had some fire codes in place, but they weren't very well enforced. After that, everybody had to comply with the codes. It roughly doubled the cost of construction with sprinklers, wider corridors, wider stairways, panic egress hardware, fire retardant, everything, ventilation, on and on. And don't get me wrong, panic egress is fantastic, right? Because they have arrived at buildings where there's a bunch of people that have died of smoke inhalation right by a door with a thumb turn. They just didn't have the dexterity, they couldn't see, they were choking, and they couldn't get out, and they died right there. Panic egress hardware allows them just to hit that door, it flies open, and everyone gets out. This is great. So tempered glass is great for safety. Fire egress is great for safety. Both of those are terrible for security. So we haven't had anyone die in a fire in a school in a long, long time. But kids are getting killed in schools because of forced entry. So what's happening is the bad guys are using the fire egress and the safety tempered glass against us. So we need to fortify that glass so they cannot easily break and get their hand through. So what constitutes a breach? Depends on if it's a door. If it's a door, 4 inches, about the size of my fist, reach through, open the panic bar, you're in 2 seconds. Almost faster than you can get in with a key. So if we can delay them by a few seconds, that can mean saving lives. So window film, as you're going to see right now, it's not super muscle, it's a time delay. So remember, as we go down this way, we're getting more and more time. And when we end up with the ArmorPlast over there, you're going to see you can use your sledgehammer over there, no problem. You're not going to get in. So let's go ahead and start just to kind of set everyone's base case. What does regular glass look like? This is Annealed. Annealed is regular plate glass. It doesn't have any heat strengthening properties. It's going to break in big shards. It's a little dangerous. Don't worry, Dallas will sweep up real nice for you. Okay? We can get through this pretty easy. A little jagged, might be a little bit of cuts, but someone could get through that. I could just keep smashing and completely open this up really quickly. Pretty much zero protection. This is tempered. As I said, we're going to heat and cool this really fast so it creates that compression. So when it breaks, it's a little harder to break. Sometimes I've hit these and they don't, can you guys hear okay? Okay. Sometimes I hit them and it doesn't break. It's really tough. It's about 7 times stronger to break than this. But when it does break, all that compression is going to release and it's going to blow up. So might be a few rogue pieces of glass flying. Let's go ahead and do this one. So as we mentioned, great for safety, right? That probably wouldn't kill me. That might kill me. This probably won't. But I would be right in. So if this was a floor-to-ceiling window, I'm in the building already. No one even knows what's going on. Did someone drop a tray of silverware? What was that? Takes a few seconds to figure out, no wait, this is an actual attack. Oh crap, and run. Remember, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. This is real life stuff. So we need to buy a little bit of time. This is annealed glass. This is annealed glass with one layer of 3M window film and an attachment system. So it is attached into the frame. Quite a difference. I can just keep going and I will eventually get through. You can see it's beginning to get a little perforations in there, but is this slowing me down over this? You betcha. I don't know if I would try and get through that. This is pretty nasty stuff right here. Even if I try and go ahead and clear this out, which I'll let you guys do, it's gonna take me a while. Now we've got 3 strikes. We're hearing a lot of noise. Something's definitely wrong. Bad guy's still outside the building. 3M has the strongest 8mm film. It's very, very tough. And still thin enough to be reasonably easy to work with, so it keeps labor costs down, installing it. Instead of like a big piece of cardboard, some of the thicker films are. So this is the exact same film and setup on this side, but this is tempered glass. So this will be more like what you would have in a stairwell, door, entryway, something like that. Remember, the first one just fell out, definitely delaying entry here. Still not going to be able to get through, but we do have a little bit of a hole here. So great time delay. We're going to step it up a little bit here with 2 layers. Same film on the safe side. We have a 7mm PET film on the outside, an exterior grade, so it's designed to weather. They've taken the UV inhibitors that protect the film from the sun and turned it around backwards, so it's on the side to protect the film. So the UV inhibitors protect the film itself, so it lasts a long time outside, specifically designed for exterior. Annealed glass first, same setup, all the way down. So this is starting to act a lot more like a tough laminated piece of glass. Gives it a lot more rigidity. And you can see it's going to take someone a while to work their way through this. Meanwhile, we're still counting 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Kids are running. People are getting the hell out of the building, saving lives. This is tempered, exact same setup. 8mm on the inside, 7mm exterior attached. Tempered glass. Pretty good. Whew. That gave a little bit of vibration coming through. Took 2 times. So, and as you'll see, if you guys want to work it with your own tools, you'll see you get through it. But the idea here is that we're significantly delaying. Someone just cannot walk in the building. We have significant time delay. So I think this with training, and we had an active shooter drill yesterday. My team was up in Woodland Hills. They're doing these regularly. So the combination of fortifying our glass and kids knowing what to do, having had some level of training so that they can know how to snap into action and they don't just sit there like a deer in headlights, these combination of things will save lives. So I'd like to come over here to show you guys the Riot Glass. Ross, can you grab that one too? This comes already tangled up here. This comes as a solid unit ready to install. So we just replaced the glass, or we can sell it to you. Dallas, you can install it. This is what we call our RG9. This is a laminated glass. It has a laminate that's 5 times stronger and 100 times stiffer than a regular laminate. Hey, can you grab that, pass that around? Normally, when you see a laminate, it's kind of floppy, it's a little bit gooey, and you can kind of bend it, so you'll see that this piece of glass has the inner layer sticking out there, and you can see how stiff that is. Now, obviously, we've already attacked this at another event. We did not have time to get a new piece in the autoclave to get it done fast enough for this event. This one we've tested at HP White Laboratories. We have all the test data. We shot it with the 7.62 5 rounds, and the guy worked it for over 8 minutes with everything from bats to sledgehammers to you name it, and he just got exhausted and stopped. So this is the most robust, and this is the second most robust, but this one does come in 2 makeups, RG9 and RG10. This is the RG9 we're looking at today. RG10 is a little bit thicker with the polycarbonate makeup. So this, not quite polycarbonate, but it's a lot less expensive. So if you want a really robust glass, cut down on the cost, this is a solution here. And again, we've already hit this a bunch of times, so it is a little weakened, but I'll just hit it a few more times. I'll let you decide how much mess we want to make, Dallas. But that's pretty tough. Obviously, no one's going to just walk into the building with this on there. It's going to take some considerable time and considerable work, even to get your hand through for panic hardware. This is great for doors, great for windows that are operable, great for floor-to-ceiling windows. What we do is we replace the glass. So if we're replacing tempered glass, by code floor-to-ceiling glass, we can't put annealed glass, it has to be laminated. So even though this has a break pattern, I'm getting a little technical now, but it has a break pattern of annealed or heat-strengthened glass, the big shards, it still will pass the code because it's, for human impact, it's safe because it's laminated together. Does that make sense? So we can take your tempered out and put this in a door, retrofit, just like that. Now this one is this window is regular tempered glass. Regular aluminum storefront, tempered glass. We have not changed the glass at all. What we've done is we've installed the ArmorPlast panel in front of the glass. We have a CEU on this. It's called Access Denial Glazing. This is a new type of protection. Basically, it's a retrofit frame. We've got the examples over on the table over there. This can be retrofitted onto a door without changing the glass. It does not mount to the stops. No compression fittings. This is bolted in, and as you'll see, this is really solidly in the frame. So this is a proprietary framing system. This particular one is called the full frame mount. It actually sits inside the frame. It's the exact same window, but on this one you can see how it's out here even. So we've actually put this in front. It's sitting right on the outside here, so we have an air gap between the actual glass. And we use this a lot on retail, and guys are coming with sledgehammers, guys are coming with everything they got, and they are not getting into those stores. This is excellent for what we call containment grade. When you absolutely positively have to keep someone out of your building, this is it. So I'll just hit this a few times so you guys can tell. Another nice thing about this, besides you don't have to replace the glass when it gets attacked, is you can actually just leave it. Some places we go to, they've got marks on it like this. And we ask them, how many times have you been broken into? They go, I don't know, we're losing count. They just regular business the next day. In some cases, when you take a really heavy tool like a sledgehammer, you might create enough concussive force to air shock that glass to break. But in that case, you still don't have to have that overnight board up for whatever what are they charging for board up these days? It's really, maybe you guys do your own board up? Yeah, but board up for retailers, rakes them across the coals. With this, the glass may break, but they still can't get in because this acts like a board up. And so the nice thing about this is you don't really have to replace it until you're ready, till the budget allows, or until you want to. You don't have to, because when you have broken glass, you got to get right out there and fix it. With this, leave it as long as you want. So that's the ArmorPlast.